going to get started on our education committee. It is 5:47. We have a quorum. We only have one piece of legislation before us today. BL 2022-1166 by Hauser, Allen, and Withers approves a lease agreement by and between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, acting by and through the Metropolitan Board of Education and the Bellevue Civic Association. And we have Councilmember Hauser here. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Councilmember Hauser, do you want to speak to this?
This is a housekeeping amendment, really. It had mistakenly said that the building was being leased to a charter school. That was just holdover language, instead of saying it was being leased for offices.
Okay,
So that's what the amendment is.
great. Are there any questions?
So, I mean, we've gotten a couple of emails today about some concerns about it.
Did you see my responses? It will be on your desk.
Okay. So, and we got an email from a school board member. So,
No, a previous school board member.
Well, Abby Tyler just wrote.
yeah.
Oh,
I think
that
it's
one, I
current-
haven't
the
seen
current
Abby's,
school board
okay.
member.
Yeah, Amy Froke sent one too, but I was referring to Tyler's, yeah. And so it's MNPS that's leasing it, but it was a library.
Yeah, when the library closed 6 years ago, the property reverted back to Metro Schools, but they've done nothing with it. It's just deteriorated since then. Nobody wanted it within Metro. Nobody wants to put the money in it. And so that, for some strange reason, it reverted, and tell me if I'm saying this wrong, reverted back to schools. So that's why they're mentioned in the lease, because they technically have it. And so David Prophet, who's the facility person for schools, is the one that worked on negotiating all this.
And they're the ones that are leasing it, but like with the charter schools, we have to.
Right, yeah.
Approve of the
But
lease.
it's not a charter school, it's just the office space for the nonprofits.
Councilmember Toombs?
So for the amendment, does it address the concerns from Budget and Finance yesterday from
No,
Councilman?
that's gonna be something else.
Okay,
The
so-
amendment only is for changing the language from saying it's for a charter school to offices. That's all this amendment is.
Okay, so will there be another amendment offered?
Yeah, the legal's been working with it and redoing, you have some,
So it will not be for tonight, but I think that the hope is that this passes second reading and then the amendment is
Okay.
offered on third reading. It will require a rule suspension, but, yeah.
it's
Okay,
because
that's
everything
the
had to go
current
back
plan.
and get everybody's signatures.
Gotcha.
Right.
Everything got written, but they couldn't get all the signatures in this short time frame.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's written, it just has to get the signatures.
Okay.
Any other questions from the committee?
Madam Chair, can I address the committee by chance?
Are you part
I
of?
am the Bellevue Civic Association president. I
Would that
get.
be helpful for
Yes.
you? Okay,
Just to give you some guidance on whatever. The building sat there deteriorating for 5 years. I belong to several nonprofit organizations in Bellevue, including the Exchange Club of the Bellevue Community Foundation, which is a component of the Community Foundation of Middle Tennessee. And I knew the Chamber of Commerce had no home at that point. So we reached out to MNPS. They did the feasibility study. Nobody had any needs school-wise. They then go to Metro and ask all the departments, anybody got any need? Nobody had any need. In the meantime, trees are growing up through the foundation, the gutter's falling off. I cut the grass for a year over there because it was not being cut. And I said, why don't we reach out and see if we can put a deal together with nonprofits and civic organizations to lease the building from Metro and bring it back to life. So that's what we've done. We're going to do about $100,000 of renovations that will become Metro property. Signage, identifying it. We have all the legalities, IRS 501c3, State of Tennessee, charitable solicitations permit, to apply for predators grants for signage, a set of bylaws adopted by members of each of the 7 participating organizations. So we've done everything asked of us to get it to this. We're in a time crunch, so the point I want to make now is it is critical that we pass this tonight. We have organizations that have given up their lease. The few organizations that could afford leases have given them up, and as of June 1st. So it only gives us 6 weeks of build out if it's past 2 weeks from tonight. So that's why, and Justin Marsh from legal called me, and the amendment that'll be offered in 2 weeks is fine with us. we're agreeable to anything. We're gonna be great tenants. Everybody gets along. We just need no delays to occur.
Okay.
And I think the point is, Metro doesn't have a use for the building. They've had 6 years to find some department that could use it, and does not put any money into it, and all the money that's being put in is private money from donations. It's not gonna cost Metro a dime. In fact, they're now gonna start collecting rent on a building that was only sitting there before. So it's not gonna cost us any money to do that.
Thank you, Councilmember. Any further questions?
Are you gonna reach out to those who have some concerns and?
I have written many, many emails today, yes, and I will continue to do that.
Okay, good.
And you will see all that on your desk. Hopefully Roseanne has copied it and put it on your
All
desk.
right. Our chair is here. All right, let's go ahead and vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Are we voting on the amendment?
I think we're on the amendment.
Are we on the amendment? Okay. Is there a motion on the amendment
Will we accept it?
and a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor of the amendment?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that's six. Any abstentions? That's 6 in favor, 0 against. Can I have a motion on the legislation as amended?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right,
Thank
6 in favor, 0 against.
Which rules?
That concludes the Education Committee.
You, make a motion to adjourn?
I have a quick question. Like in the last couple of years, it seems like we've had a meeting with board or board. Is there any plan for them to like,
I thought you asked, I thought we had talked about that, because I think you asked me that once before.
well, what I said before was I wanna have a meeting with school board members as opposed
Okay,
to
so what are you
staff.
talking about now?
Now, we're getting ready for budget and they have some big plans, so
So you're talking so who are you talking about now?
whoever's putting together the MNPS budget and
And who's responsible for the budget?
I guess it's both
Okay.
staff and
Well, so the board has a
school board
budget
members. So there's a
chair.
budget chair.
Okay, so I don't have a problem with that, I just need to know who you're asking me specifically that you want me to ask to be here.
I don't know, I just know I know at least 1 year we've had that.
So probably
Okay, so I'll find out who is
Okay. It
budget
was-
chair,
stuff.
Chris Henson is their finance guy,
Yeah.
and then maybe
Who's budget
Dr.
chair?
I don't know who's the
It
budget chair. I
was,
know it's Frida.
Elrod, but she's,
Was it?
it
Last
was
year
Elrod
was,
a year,
Player
or
Peter.
a year ago, I think it was Elrod,
But
but
whoever the budget chair is, Madam Chair, Chris Henson, and then maybe Dr. Battle.
Okay. I do have a group waiting for me.
Oh, Chris Henson, okay. I'll request that,
And I-
because I also was going to request, that, and I had talked to the board chair, I believe, that we have some school board meeting, members, like I had asked the, principal that time, the superintendent that time. So I'm gonna ask the board members, and that can be after all of this if you want to. I'm sorry, so I move to adjourn.
Second. Thank you.
This is you. Thank you.